Follow me, I'm standing on the border of everything. Listen close, can you hear the spirits sing lost messages of long ago?
The train headed for Sunset City will be departing soon.
Okay, welcome everybody to Sunset City, the Sonic podcast for the classic and modern age. With me today is Suris,
Hi, we had technical issues. They were fun.
and he's actually taking care of the stream this time, but don't worry, it's gonna be exactly as you've always hoped it'll be, right?
It's back to what it was last year.
No, it's not. And then, chowing down on his KFC, we got Wayne.
My coffee has gotten cold and I blame Pup.
That's unfortunate. Now, we are on week 3 of the Nick is sick arc. Now, what happened was he was telling me he's completely fine with the way Shadow's been characterized in the recent years, so I had to put him in hospital once again, because he doesn't learn his lesson, but, like, he will be back eventually. They're getting to the bottom of what the problem is now. The problem is that I punched him, and, but, like, yeah, they're gonna operate. It's gonna be okay. But
Are you gonna stop
yeah.
getting violent with our friend? Is that a thing you can do?
Hey, I'm British.
I understand that we beat the crap out of you guys to get you out of here the last time, but I don't want to have to do it again for the sake of Nick, of all people.
Or you were.
This whole you guys, this them and us mentality. You're British. You are British yourself. You're just like an
no,
evolution of British.
I will not search my feelings. I don't know it to be true.
You're not American. You're not Native American, so you're British. That is exactly how it works. Well, anyways, yeah, so today, we've got a couple of subjects. We've got soap shoes in Sonic Frontiers, if anyone wants to pitch in a little quick opinion on that.
I mean, it's an aesthetic thing. I'm happy they're back because I like the soap shoes more than any other shoe in Sonic, personally. But at the same time, like, it's just aesthetic. It was aesthetic last time, but unless they're making them the default shoes as opposed to just making them one that we have the choice whether or not we want to use, then I don't think it makes as much of a statement. Like we already had Forces. At least, but with Forces though, we had the shoes as toggleable for the player character, not for Sonic. So I guess this is still a little different.
Wayne?
I mean, I like them. I just don't particularly want to join that newsletter to get them.
I joined the newsletter ages ago. I didn't even know the soap shoes were going to be a thing. But, like, for one, I am just happy that cosmetics is a thing they're continuing with in Sonic. Because, like, I enjoyed the avatar, like, customization in Forces. And, of course, I thought the customization in Sonic Colors Ultimate was one of the better things about that port.
Being able to have like the movie Sonic flair and all that stuff.
Yeah. And, like, admittedly, the majority of the time I play it, I'm just the basic vanilla Sonic, but, like, still, I think character customization's fun. And it's, it's a way of, personalizing your playthrough a little bit. Considering Sonic Frontiers is a very sandboxy, play-your-way kind of game, the idea of having cosmetics and stuff, choosing how your Sonic looks, that makes me happy, and I will definitely be playing it with the soap shoes. Like, this is, the statement I'm seeing here is, this is going to be the best Sonic game since Sonic Adventure 2. So it's going to be the best Sonic game. Right? That's not an unreasonable expectation based on a pair of shoes, right?
I feel like maybe you and the Sonic cycle have had an unfair relationship up to this point, and I think we need to color your expectations a bit differently from this point on, Pup.
No, screw this, because while I might get backhanded across the face for my hype, I'm just enjoying the hype. I'm enjoying the journey there, and even if the destination's not so very great, I will completely change my mind by the time I get to the destination and be like, I wish I never got hyped in the first place. But right now, I'm feeling happy about things, and that's all that matters. Short-term enjoyment.
So like I'm excited as hell for the game. It's just not the shoes haven't colored my opinion.
The shoes, I mean, in all seriousness, they haven't colored my opinion as much as I'm joking I am. But like, even so, like even before the shoes, I was saying to myself, hey, like on paper, there's fully a possibility this could be my favorite Sonic game. So I'm gonna wait and see. But like, there's just more and more little things, and the shoes are just like a little cherry on top, you know?
Yeah, I'm all for customization in games. I am. But if there's one thing that I wanted a lot from Adventure 2 that it never gave me was like a justification for the difference in shoes. Like think of all the equipment that we have in Adventure 2, that there is an in-universe explanation as to why you have it. But the
True, everything does serve a purpose, but Sonic looks fucking ridiculous by the time you get to the end of Sonic Adventure 2.
Sonic and Knuckles. Knuckles.
Yeah, you could like toggle it, basically. You could decide whether or not you want that cosmetic change, but I did like the whole in-universe thing of like cosmetic changes giving you little power-ups and stuff.
Yeah, so like it was always weird to me that the shoes, as different as they are the one thing that's never given an explanation. Like we know as fans of the series why the soap shoes are there. We know it's because of the collaboration with soap. Like we know that before somebody goes to the comment section and goes, well, actually, we do know the reason. No, but I want a reason in story, like we have with every other cosmetic in that game. So while having the toggleable thing is great for this game, and I appreciate it because I do like being able to choose, what I bring on Sonic. I like being able to have my own version of the character that represents the versions that I've enjoyed the most. Without it being something that has like story weight to it, I'm just like, yeah, I'm excited for it. It's neat, but I've wanted Sonic to give me a reason why he had those shoes on for years, and I will never get it.
Shut up, man. In terms of though, like purchasable or unlockable or downloadable cosmetics, what things would you guys like to see?
So I'm still a little upset that like I don't know that there's actually going to be a way to get the Corona crossover stuff over here in the States. That upsets me. Other than that, I'm just like I think the only other cosmetic thing I really could want is probably like the lightning effect that they added in Colors Ultimate. Other than that, like Colors Ultimate was kind of where I basically put together I don't particularly need or possibly even want cosmetics in Sonic games, because he looks a little stupid with them. Like the differently colored gloves and shoes looked dumb in Colors Ultimate. So I'm like, the less they screw around with that, the better. It's one thing if it's like the little gadgets and gizmos that he gets in the adventure games, where it's like, oh, here's the bounce bracelet, like that just kind of like showcases your progression, everything like that. But if it's like turning my gloves blue, nah, I'm good.
You don't want yellow gloves on your Knuckles the Echidna?
It looks dumb.
You'll be pleased to know that the whole movie effects thing is in the game. It's when you do the super boost.
Okay, well there you go.
Yeah, I think you get like 60 rings and it gives you like this blue boost. You get like a little mini cutscene that's like mimicking like his power up from the first film, and like his eyes glow blue. So they've actually made it in
Ink. I am not saying her name weird. That's literally how it's said. That is how it is said.
Look, man, there is no way of saying her name. Okay, I've tried saying it like 10 different ways, and every one of them has been wrong. Apparently, so
I've asked for correction, and no one's given it to me. They're just like, no, you're just saying it wrong because they don't have that.
It's like the ultimate
letter
gatekeeper fan base.
I'm just like, that's literally just how it's said. I have an American accent. Fight me.
I mean, let's look beyond, I guess, like shoes and gloves, like unlockable skins for Sonic or anything like that. Anything you guys would want to see there? Like maybe a Sonic Adventure 1 model or something you can play as? How?
I want the Sonic Jam model. I want the Sonic Jam model as unlockable.
I would like Movie Sonic and Boom Sonic. I think those are... You know what? Like, I've said no classic Sonic in the game, but if it's just an optional skin and not a completely different playstyle, I'd take a classic Sonic skin. Why not?
I wouldn't mind classic Sonic as something like that. I think for me, like, the classic Sonic one would just be, okay, this is neat. I'm glad it's here, but I don't feel one way or the other about it. But if we could actually get, like, the Adventure 1 model, the Adventure 2 model, even the freaking weirdly bouncy Heroes model, like that hyper plasticky piece of crap.
So you just want every model from Sonic's 3D history?
I wouldn't mind. Like, because if I'm being honest, there's aspects of each of them that I did like. That there's not one that I've ever solidly liked the most outside of maybe the Adventure 2 one, and that one's mostly down to texturing. Like, for some reason, the fur on the characters in Adventure 1 and 2, they cared about making it look like fur, whereas going forward, they started making it look like something out of Toy Story.
Well, you'll be pleased to know that in Sonic Frontiers, his basic look does have a much more pronounced fur texture than it did in previous Boost games.
Which, while still good, I would still like the ability to pick which one I have, even if it's just like, hey, you just kind of have the aesthetics of this, even if it's not like going full on, here's your low poly Sonic. But like, if we're gonna have a Sonic game that has a cyber dimension that we have to go into, cyberspace, you could go hog wild with the things that Sonic can do. Like, there is no justification for saying, well, he wouldn't have this in this environment. Well, why wouldn't he have X thing in this environment? It's literally cyberspace. He can have whatever the hell he wants.
Wayne, disengage. Forget this. Everyone stop bullying Wayne.
No.
Stop
I'm not
him.
saying it like that. I am not. I've never once
Wayne,
said...
out of the
No.
I love that.
Wayne.
No, I'm putting this to bed right now. I am not putting this to bed right now. Ink, I am not. You're saying I am saying Coroni, and I've never said that. It's Corone, because that's how it's pronounced in Japan. You need to get your ears checked. Oh my god.
I'm just hearing this as Ink is taking all of the lessons Pup has ever given about how to gaslight and gatekeep, and is just taking them to their full extent.
Don't feed the trolls. Don't feed the trolls. Come on.
I'm going to become the Joker. I swear to God, this is my snapping moment.
This is it.
Hey! That's everyone's goal. Don't give me what I want so easily. Come on, man.
I know what I'm saying.
I want to see you next month in like the Joaquin Phoenix Joker paint.
What?
I want to see you next month.
He wants you to become the Joker.
And because I'm going to see you next month, am I not? Wayne, are we not seeing you next month?
Did you forget about that?
I still need to get my plane ticket.
What?
Wayne, get it sorted, man.
Hey, Nick told me to wait until it got cheaper. It never got cheaper.
Oh, then just... How cheap is it now?
What? Hey, it's still like $200 to get a ticket.
Wait.
I will literally help you if it means that you'll get to be there, okay? I will literally...
I also still don't know what's going on with the tickets to the actual convention. I've basically just been told, hey, don't worry about it. And I'm like...
I purchased my ticket because I'm not going to play that game.
All right, anyways, before we get to the next topic, shall we read some super chats?
I think we should. Yeah, we should catch up on those.
We should invite everybody to harass Wayne even more, but this time by giving us money.
I'm actually going to get irritated, I swear.
Okay, Wayne. Okay, so first up, we've got $2 Canadian $79, and I'm gonna say who this is from afterwards, after the chat. So they say, "Happy Beanist Day, Gilly. Go on, Pup. Say my name. Okay, Xavier Farton. You're up, Suris.
Where's Arnold? $9. $9.99 actually.
Yogurt mail. Wayne?
Sorry, where are we at? Where's Arnold?
No, you've done. Well, I'll put the burger next to it. Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're at Zygarde Logon with $5. Hey guy, Hey guy, won't be able to make the stream today. I'm having a colonoscopy this morning,
Oh,
but I'll always have the VOD. Well, I mean,
Did
I hope
Zygarde
it goes
Lagan?
well.
Did Zygarde Lagan become Nick?
Well,
Nick,
hey, I hope it goes well. Yeah. Thank you for the super chat.
Zygarde Lagan literally is Nick. Like, if you take Zygarde Lagan backwards, it literally says Game Apologist. Seriously, read it backwards. It says Game Apologist.
says Nagal Edragiz.
Yeah, Game Apologist. Anyways, next up we have our pal Jamal with $2. Happy Bee Theory, Milk Bro Forever, Wallace, Crazy Face, thumbs up. Thank you, Jamal. You'll always be our pal.
Next one we have here is from David Crespo. Thank you for the $1.99. You guys know of Archie Sonic Online? I know it exists, but I've never sat down and checked it out.
What's that, like a fan continuation or something?
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh, what a neat idea.
Yeah, that universe being as dead as it is, fans of except just like Dragon Ball Multiverse, same idea. And it's like, oh, it ended here? Cool, let's keep going.
Wayne?
Let's see, we're on Zygarde Logon again?
Yeah.
With another $5. You guys remember when Wayne saved all of Station Square from a giant water monster? That was crazy. It took a really big
that ends well, right?
Yeah, it took a really big sponge, but I made it work.
The city is destroyed.
All's
You
well that
did
ends
it.
well.
You're complicit. David Crespo with $1.99. Sonic Project Hero is the best framework. Their animations are freaking gorgeous in that game. And I look forward to seeing what crazy things people come up with that framework.
I actually haven't seen that at all.
Dude, the animations are so pretty.
I'll have to check it out after this. Definitely. Let's see. The next one we have here is from Aiden F. They give it the $10. Frontiers OST, 150 songs. The hype is so hard for me to fight for Frontiers. Pup fought Nick because he wouldn't share the milk.
That's how it is, man. Oh, actually,
Do you think that the 150 songs is really just going to be like a lot of those taken up by small piano pieces, though?
no, it's just the wisp music.
Unless it's
because
gonna
the
be
wisps
like,
are in it.
unless it'll be like what we got with Colors and Generations, where half of the songs are just the same song, but this is what it sounds like when it's distorted, or this is what it sounds like when it's underwater. Like, they don't run a filter through it, they just literally have a track on there that just plays it with the sound effect.
Or
I'm
maybe,
also
like-
thinking of Zelda, because like Breath of the Wild also has that, where if you put on that full OST, you're hearing a lot of just like atmospheric piano somewhere in there.
I'm still hoping that Junson is somewhere on this soundtrack. He said he would be, but I'm hearing nothing. I figured, okay, if he's not doing the overworld music, he'll probably be doing, like, the vocal track. He's not on the vocal track. Okay, well, maybe he'll do cyberspace, but everything we've heard of cyberspace is very Otani so far. It's like, where is Jun? He stole the show on the Colors soundtrack. Where is he? Yeah. But that might be why they took 150 years to make this game. Is they might have been waiting on Otani to produce that many fucking tracks for it, you know?
Yeah.
You know how it is. Who was up again? Is it you, Wallace?
It is. Yeah, it's me with the way past cool kid. $4.99. I missed you, boys. Yeah, welcome back. Also, hi Wayne. Enjoy some monetary harassment. Also, did anyone else think that the Mario Isekai movie is gonna be cool? Yeah, we're gonna be getting into that a little bit.
Shall we segue?
Huh?
Oh, one more thing I wanted to say before we segue into that is, about the milk. Nick has this Applejack cereal, which turns the milk green. And when I was finishing up my cereal and drinking the milk out of the bowl, I was like, "This is milk. This is literally milk."
Did you say that to Nick, or was
Nah,
like
Nick
a
was
shower
bedridden.
thought?
Nick was bedridden.
So you didn't physically go into his bedroom with the bowl, like break in and go, Nick, I found the milk, and just point
Yeah,
to the bowl.
yeah. I just go into his room. That's just a thing I do. It's not like when his tortoise was desperately trying to get into his room while they were all at the hospital. I was like, should I go in there?
That was So if there's one thing I have noticed during this whole ordeal, as awful as it is, has been interesting watching y'all talk about how to shuffle the pets around the house every time.
Yeah, because no one was home. It was kind of my first time home alone, and the tortoise was just raging around the freaking house, and it was trying to get to the bedroom constantly. I was like, "Is he allowed in there though? Am I allowed in there?" And eventually, you guys was like, "This is about the tortoise, okay? Don't worry about it." I was like, "Should I be going in their room though? That's kind of like their sacred zone." Turned out there was a bed in there for the tortoise, so it was just like,
Yeah,
okay,
Washington's little closet boxes in there.
Fucking Washington. He
I can't wait to meet him.
He knocked out the Wi-Fi router yesterday, and the internet hasn't been the same since. Hence why Suris is running the show this time.
It's all Nick's fault.
Was
No,
it
it's
the
all
internet or was it
Washington's.
OBS?
No,
Like,
this is the.
I think it's the internet, because when I was trying to upload unlisted footage of Ratchet and Clank yesterday, it just wasn't happening. So
Wow.
I think I don't know if it's Washington's fault. It might even be that I put the modem box the wrong way round or something, but yeah, no, he went charging into the table that has the router on it. The table falls on him. It's fine. He's fine. And the router falls down. I'm just like, Washington, what the fuck are you doing?
His best.
He's a ridiculous animal.
Doing everything in his power to ruin everything in his power.
Anyways, so the Mario movie. All right, so we'll get to the rest of the super chats a little later. Guys,
Yeah.
Mario.
Mario.
Yeah, I can't wait for the Mario movie where
I-
Mario's going to be the worst part.
I can't wait to talk about Mario on our Mario podcast for a classic and modern Mario age.
Oh, I do love a codcast as a British person. That's a thing we have often over in the UK.
You cast to get your COD.
Oh, you know how it is. You know how it is. Man. Just trying to align myself on this airbed again. Alright, so. Sorry. Right. Mario. Ah. You
So
have surprisingly little to say about this, huh?
Well, the thing, okay, so they didn't show a lot of like what the movie's even going to be about or anything like that. We can ascertain a couple of details from the trailer. I mean, obviously Mario isn't from the Mushroom Kingdom. I still think because they actually had some little Easter eggs in there where he had some. There was like some stamps on some luggage that were like from other kingdoms that were in Mario Odyssey. I'm assuming he's from New Donk City. He and Luigi are from New Donk City in this universe, and they get transported through a warp type into the Mushroom Kingdom.
Then why do they look like that in that case, though? Like, because New Donk City people look normal.
They actually addressed that in an interview for Mario Odyssey once, where someone said essentially it's just like, there's a lot of people that just look different from other people. It's like there's people of all kinds of shapes and sizes out there. Mario just is just Mario. So
No,
I
fuck
don't think
diversity. That's not how this works.
I don't think it should be. Plus, if anything, if they do represent New Donk City, they are likely going to just make the art style among all the characters a little more consistent. I do think
Or it'll be live action.
Oh God, wouldn't that be crazy?
They could do it though. Like that,
Well,
that could work.
Well, they did. They did also. We know Donkey Kong, and I think we were actually looking on the IMDb yesterday, and we saw Cranky Kong is going to be in the movie. Who Cranky was the original Donkey Kong that Mario fought in, the old arcade game Donkey Kong.
Didn't they end up
Um,
retconning it to where it wasn't Mario that fought him either? It was one of Mario's ancestors, so that they wouldn't have the stench of Mario being evil.
he was yeah, because there was like one of those was it Donkey Kong Jr.? Where it was just like you have to rescue Donkey Kong who's been captured by like a super malicious like Mario who's just putting him through hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if they retconned that. But if they want to play around with it, I do think it would be kind of fun if they I'm not entirely sure how they're gonna do all of that. They did say Charles Martinet is gonna be making an appearance in the or I'm sorry, Charles Martin E apparently, so we gotta change the pronunciation for the last part of everybody's name. But
Wait, shouldn't it just be Charles Martin?
Charles Martin.
Yeah, it's Quran, right?
Yeah.
Charles
Uh,
Martini.
But maybe he's gonna make a an appearance as like old Mario. Like imagine like them in a retirement home, just Cranky Kong and like old Mario actually played by Charles Martinet.
According to someone in my comments section, there was actually like an interview that they clarified that Charles Martinet is just kind of playing like background or side characters, basically.
I think all they said was he was going to make a small cameo at most. He's not playing a major role in the film to any large degree. I don't think Cranky Kong is even going to be there much. I don't know if Seth Rogen's Donkey Kong is going to even be in there much. I've been saying for a while, I think it'd be funny if Donkey Kong is just, he's just the stoner neighbor that's just like, good. Hey Mario, you gotta come over and try out my new like banana smoothie. You're never gonna believe this.
Are you ready for the banana slammer?
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what they're doing lore wise with this, because it looks like they're taking some liberties with like how Mario and Luigi got to be a part of the Mushroom Kingdom.
I mean, every Mario everything takes massive liberties with that world, to be fair.
Well, I mean, that was kind of always the difference between like Sonic and Mario was I always felt like Sonic was trying a little harder to actually tell a story within its game.
Oh, 100%. Like, Mario's, like, never lived and died by its story, which is why...
Which is not a problem. That's not a bad thing.
Like, a lot of people... Like, okay, so here's one of the big takeaways of the Mario movie is... It's very much in the world of the Mario games. Like, this is not Mario's in our world or anything like that. This is Mario's world. However, like, I think the reason why it's more important that the Mario movies do this is because when it comes to Mario, it's that world that matters more than the characters and their stories. The characters and their stories have always been second banana. Second banana. They've always been second banana to Linda Bananas. Have always been second fiddle to the world building, whereas Sonic has always led with its characters and its stories and such, which is why, you know, they've been kind of faithful to the stories and they've kind of led with the characters in the marketing. It kind of doesn't matter as much if you bring them to suburban environments and stuff like that. I mean, of course, I do want to see things like, you know, Green Hill Zone and Labyrinth, but we did get that. So, like, you know, it's just to a lesser extent.
You can do other stuff with that now that we've just been like, okay, we did get some of the stuff we want. It's just...
Yeah, if you have Mario, though, come into our world, there's nothing. There's nothing worthy of note because Mario is not an interesting character or anything like that. He's a mascot first and foremost. It's always been about the mechanics. Sorry, go on, Wayne.
I was gonna say I am happy with like because I think once a lot of us heard that Illumination was going to be the studio behind the movie, many of us had this kind of like idea of what we could expect from the content. And so I was expecting pop music from the 80s in the trailer. I was expecting like silly dances and dumb jokes and everything like that. Bowser was taking himself seriously and holding himself up to a level of pride. He was enjoying himself, but and he's got like life and energy to him, but he's not being silly.
Yeah,
Even if the penguin, like, I actually thought that was a cute joke with them like charging in, they just start throwing snowballs.
only a taste of our fury. To
you yield.
Yeah, I like that, like, Jack Black's seeming to really try to get into. He's not playing Jack Black's Bowser. He's trying to do like the Bowser character.
I imagine
if that makes
him,
sense.
I imagine him almost as like I said this in our chat, but I'll say it here for blithe posterity's sake. I really imagine that Bowser that he was portraying as Paper Mario's Bowser, because Paper Mario's Bowser has always been this like really, really menacing, hulking thing that can also give you a lot of levity depending on the scene. Like he's either the superimposing final boss, or he can be a petulant child. It really depends on who he's talking to that day.
Mm.
And that's
So-
kind of what I expect we're gonna get here.
Like, that said, like, it didn't, like, tick all of the boxes of, like, my Illumination trailer bingo. In fact, there's been a lot of, like, bingo cards I've seen on Twitter and stuff that have been completely wrong, which
Yep.
is, like, I think, like, I'm not the only one that was quite surprised by this. Then again, it's a teaser. I think when we get the full trailer, we'll get, your Dua Lipa fucking levitating music come in, and Mario will be like, "Oh, you're probably wondering how I got into this mess."
Are we
and
gonna
stuff
get
like that.
Are we gonna get the iconic scene where Mario will open up his closet and there will be just a bunch of identical uniforms in there, like they show in every single thing like this?
Yeah, you're gonna get all of that, and it's gonna, like. But that said, like, people have constantly told me Illumination are not as in charge of like the writing of this one. That like, but the behind the animations, that beyond the animation, it's more been like Nintendo in charge. I don't know how much. Like, that's the thing, is we're gonna see how that power balance comes out later down the line. Like right now, it's just a teaser, and I think they've all been kind of aware that people are expecting an Illumination Mario film to look a certain way. They want to see if they can challenge that. I mean, as it is, the most surprising bit of news I've ever heard is that Illumination Entertainment are planning on doing like a new branch, a new label that will do more mature animated films. And that's like, wow, the idea of Illumination branching out and doing anything new is like such an out there concept to me. So it's like we could be seeing the early signs of that. Maybe Illumination actually want to start trying, and this Mario movie could be a first instance of that. However, I will say this. Beyond the fact that pretty much everything here except Mario's voice is pretty much authentic to Mario as we know it and love it, there's not much here to really say, wow, this is a good movie, There's not much here that's, like, necessarily, like, gripping me as such,
Yeah. I mean,
yeah. I mean, again, it is a teaser. There's only. I mean, it's coming out in what, April?
Yeah.
I,
But, like,
so
if I didn't already know who these characters are, I wouldn't be gripped by pretty much anything here,
I wouldn't see. I don't want to hold that against it though, because it's like it's not being created in a world where anybody would not know.
Yeah, it is
Mario's
true,
more
like, everyone
recognizable
knows.
than Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
I-
Yeah. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I have more faith in it just based off of the trailer than I originally had, and that's not something I was expecting to say.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
more
with you there.
hopeful. I'm more hopeful for this movie after seeing the trailer, because when we saw the cast listing for the movie, everybody went, "Okay, this is a joke, right?" Chris Pratt, like this is where we got the
Right.
starring Chris Pratt jokes from. Like, okay,
I mean, that's
Chris
another
Pratt's
thing,
in
like-
everything now, I guess.
I wasn't expecting Jack Black to be putting on like a Bowser voice either. I thought Jack Black was just going to do his Jack Black voice and persona for
Yeah.
Bowser, and it was going to be like the celebrities come first, the characters play second fiddle. So I was very surprised when Jack Black came out sounding like Bowser, but with the sort of charisma of Jack Black, which can only be a good thing. And then, of course, we do hear Keegan-Michael Key as Toad, and he still sounds like Toad.
It's a very downplayed Toad. Like it's the Mario Brothers animated series Toad, but without like grating on your ears, which is
Yeah, well, what I was going to say
good.
there is like it makes sense that they would tone down these voices. It makes sense that they're not going to sound exactly the way they do in the games, because like you cannot have a full 90-minute long movie of "It's me, your Mario." That would piss you off after like
Yeah.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that I don't think Charles Martinet could do it. I fully, think that he could easily tone down that voice a little bit and play the role fully. That said, Chris Pratt, I think, is an absolute overcorrection. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want an entire movie of "It's you, Mario," but like,
You're getting
like-
generic white guy Mario this way.
yeah, it's just Chris Pratt with an ever so slight New York accent, And like when he says in the trailer, "Mushroom Kingdom, here we come," I can almost hear Chris Pratt rolling his eyes as he says that, as though he's been called at like 3 a.m. to record a pickup. Like he's phoning it in so bad.
If
I think
there's
that
one-
was like,
Oh,
or
sorry.
I was gonna say, I think Some Call Me Johnny tweeted, and he was like, "Wow, did Chris Pratt only get like one take in that Zoom call?"
Exactly. Oh yeah, where he's like, "Oh yeah, I remember stomping on."
He's like, I've been
Koopa's."
stomping on. The Sonic Unleashed QuickTime event memes that have
Yeah,
happened
I've
because
seen
of that.
that.
Just there have been other Sonic Unleashed QuickTime events I've seen as a result of that I won't say on here, but they're all fucking hilarious.
Zygarde Lagun sent me a tweet this morning. I can't remember who made it, but someone animated Linda Belcher from Bob's Burgers dressed up as Mario saying, "Mushroom Kingdom, here we come." Like in the actual voice clip, proving that he really sounds like Linda Belcher from Bob's Burgers. And now that I've seen it, I can't unhear
Linda.
it. Linda.
I will say this though, as far as from what I've heard from the voices so far, there is a thing, and you've touched on it before, but I kind of want to hammer down on this. There is a proclivity with Hollywood to not understand voice acting. They literally, generally, will go, "Okay, here's the celebrity voice cast. We want them to sound just like they do as celebrities, and that'll be it." Whereas when you listen to somebody who's a careered voice actor, they can put on a bevy of different voices. Like, the amount of things that Mark Hamill is in that people get surprised that he actually is. Like oh wait, he's the Fire Lord in Avatar? Like, people just go, "Oh shit, he was that too?" Like, that's the sign of a good voice actor.
And that's the thing, is like a good actor isn't always necessarily a good voice actor, and you only have to look to Marvel's What If to realize that, because there's a lot of like the big Marvel actors that cannot voice act their way out of a fucking paper bag in that show. Like,
And it's
Yeah, you know who I was surprised by?
Hmm.
Benedict Cumberbatch, I think, killed it in that.
yeah, he was good. He was solid. I think the main one I tend to think of when I think of a great actor that's not a good voice actor, Hayley Atwell. Like when she's acting, like
Shoot.
just physical performance, she's really solid. In What If though, she sounds like she's giving a fucking English presentation.
Oh, okay. It took me a second to remember who Hayley Atwell
Peggy
was.
Carter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, I don't... Growing up with cartoons, growing up with anime, growing up with all this stuff, or growing up with video games as well, watching how video game voice acting has evolved over time, it's given me a huge appreciation for how character acting behind an animated character is supposed to be. Like, what makes it good versus what makes it just passable. And I'm glad when we see something like Jack Black's Bowser, when we hear that voice from Toad, the exception to this being Mario, unfortunately. But when we hear those characters speak, if you didn't know who was providing the voice for them, you might not be able to tell who's there. And that's good. Like, Jack Black's Bowser, it doesn't sound like Jack Black. Having the context that it's Jack Black lets you go, okay, that's where those inflections are coming from. I get it now.
Yeah.
And
like,
I want more
Jack
of
Black
that.
actually, that's the thing, is if you're going to have a new actor in the role, it's like they should bring something to it. It shouldn't be reductive. And like what Jack Black brings to Bowser is like he does Bowser as you know and love him, but he brings that Jack Black charisma and that Jack Black inflection to
Which
it.
is
So it's not reductive. It actually adds a new layer to it. That's good. Now let's look at Chris Pratt as Mario, though. It's taken away what Mario sounds, and everybody knows what Mario sounds like. Like you ask them, can you do a Mario impression? And everyone will say, "It's a me, Mario."
yeah, they're gonna
you
go
know?
for they almost always will go for the Charles Martinet. They won't go for the one from the old animated series.
Yeah, I mean, heck, I'll take
That,
all toasters, toast over
that
what Chris Pratt gave us.
it is interesting though. If only because it's like in hmm.
Hmm.
How many Sonics has how many different voices has Sonic had in English?
Are we just talking like through all multimedia or just games?
Basically multimedia.
Oh, fuck you, man!
6.
Like I can't tell you how many there.
Exactly.
I
That's
think
what I'm
it's-
saying is that
I think it's 6.
we just haven't had a new Mario before. Like, and not since Martinet like established the Mario voice.
Yeah.
I don't think Chris Pratt was the right way to go, and I think that there's a lot of reasons people don't particularly want him as Mario.
I mean, another thing is also like, even with Sonic, someone who's had a very varied voice throughout the ages, like there is still a very wrong way of doing Sonic. Like I remember
Yeah.
on one of like the cast lists, or like one of the things where they wrote down potential people they wanted to play Sonic. One of the choices was Jim Parsons, who's obviously Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory, and it's like, what?
Why?
So I guess you had down that he's an alien, so you were thinking of the movie Home. But why? Jim Parsons as Sonic is completely at odds with everything Sonic is about. Like, Sonic is Mr. Cool. You don't get the fucking guy from The Big Bang Theory playing Mr. Cool. Can you imagine? And I'm gonna say this. I think we are very lucky to have Ben Schwartz as Sonic, because I think he's fantastic in the role. He doesn't sound like Roger Craig Smith. He doesn't sound like Jason Griffith. He sounds a bit like Ryan Drummond, to be fair. But, like, he does a new thing, but it's still the Sonic voice, you know? And that's the thing, is even if it's varied over the years, there is still such a thing as the Sonic voice. It's that whole sort of Dr. Eggman sort of thing, you know?
Mhm.
And with Mario, you got a similar thing. It's me, Mario. And, like, the whole Mushroom Kingdom, here we come thing is just, nah, you know? Nah. That's not Mario. You know, he barely even sounds Italian. He's got a slight New York thing in there, but he barely even sounds... I sound more fucking Italian than that, you know? Like...
I'll tell you, like, the one character I was actually kind of hoping to hear more than Mario, and we just unfortunately didn't really get to, was I wanted to hear Charlie Day as Luigi.
Yeah, you only really hear him screaming and stuff. You don't really...
Yeah, I want that. I want to see. I want to hear I want to hear Charlie Day as Luigi.
The Wiggy. Yeah, I think... So, this is the Sonic podcast for the classic and modern age. So, I'm going to kind of segue a little bit here. Something that does rub me up the wrong way is people that are starting to write off the Sonic movies. People that used to be like, oh, these are the greatest video game movies of all time, are now just like, oh yeah, the Mario movie is already better than the Sonic movie. And it's like, for starters, that's a testament to the power of recency bias right there. But also just how fickle fan culture is. Like, something that always rubs me up the wrong way is changing narratives and fickleness. I just think they are very unappealing traits. And I don't like the whole thing that it's like, we've got these movies out in their entirety, and we're now saying a 2-minute teaser trailer proves that the Mario movie is now better than the Sonic movies.
This is how it is for every, like, any fan thing, for the most part. The new big thing comes out, and you either have the people who are hyper cynical towards it, or who are going, this is the best thing since sliced bread, but the last thing was the best thing since sliced bread, and the last thing was the best thing since sliced bread. And
that's another thing, is people like, oh yeah, but the Mario movie is fully within the world of the games, it's fully animated. It's like, yeah, but I thought people actually, liked the Sonic movie for, like, the dynamics that he had with Tom. I thought people liked Jim Carrey as Robotnik and stuff like that. I thought there were live action elements that people felt actually played into the favor of the Sonic movies. And it's like, I understand feeling like you might be missing out on seeing the environments, but it's not like they're not there, you know? Like,
I think it would
but
be like if in a sorry to interrupt, but like if we do end up getting like if this movie does end up being quote the best video game movie, the Mario movie, then you know what that means? It doesn't mean dismiss the Sonic movie for running so this movie could fucking go faster. Like just accept that okay, now there's another one, and now the next Sonic movie has to be even better. It doesn't somehow make the movies worse.
yeah, like if they're competing with each other, that's a pretty solid thing. At the same time, though, I do think it is quite hard to compare the live action hybrid movie to the fully animated one. But if anything, like as I said, if you were to do Mario as a live action hybrid movie, there'd be nothing there because the characters of Mario are just kind of nothing. Whereas, like with Sonic, you can swing that. Sonic has been in semi-realistic environments plenty of times. He's always been a much more urban character than Mario. His worlds have always been a little more grounded than Mario's. And the fact is, like, we got to see in Sonic 2 a live action, fully constructed set of the Labyrinth Zone from Sonic 1. That's freaking awesome to me. Like, and there was a practical set as well. Like, there's images of Jeff Fowler on that set. And, like, that's just so cool to me. Like, I think, while I understand, like, the whole idea is, like, we want to see more of these locations, like, we haven't had a shortage. Like, we've had Green Hill, we've had Labyrinth, we've had Mushroom Hill, we've had Ice Cap. I mean, like, yeah, you could just say that's a mountain, but, I mean, like, Ice Cap is just a mountain anyway.
We know what it's trying to be. Like, when somebody's, it was just a mountain. It's not that. No, we know what that imagery is. He's on a snowboard on it going down. We know what they're trying to do. Knuckles is there as the nemesis during that scene, almost as if it's trying to one-to-one the events from Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
What's also great as well? What's also great is the fact that, like, just this little Montana village of Green Hill, they've given it character. They've made it kind of synonymous with the movie Sonic. They've had quite a task there with making a real-world place feel within the spirit of Sonic. Like, it's clearly more of an adaptation than what they're doing with Mario. With Mario, it's kind of a one-to-one with the games in a way. Like, everything looks how you expect. Whereas Sonic has adapted things differently. And what I find so weird is that people are now saying, yeah, I just would have liked it to have been more like the games, but a lot of these people are the same people that were saying, I wanted the games to be more like the movies. And it's like, so what do you want then, Like,
the question always becomes at that point, if you want the movies to be more like the Sonic games, and I get it, I wholeheartedly agree. Which games? Which games? Yeah, which ones do you want them to be more like? Because we could have them
I wanted Sonic to say baldy nose hair a few times,
Like we could get the movies to be like Sonic Colors, and that would be, or we could get a Lost World movie, and that would be,
get your fully animated Sonic movie, and it's written by Pontac and Graff, and Sonic is voiced by Jim Parsons. Like, I don't get the whole thing of it's fully animated and it looks like the games, therefore it is better. No, that's not how this works, okay? Like, we will see in time. It could be that the Mario movie comes out and it's written really well and the characters are good and it's written better than the Sonic movies are. Perfectly possible. You know what, though? This is going to sound really dumb. This is where my logic all goes out the window. I don't want the Mario movie to be better. I want Sonic to excel ahead of Mario in just one category. I'm rooting for the underdog. I want the underdog to win it.
Well, I
want the Mario to be good.
There's also a couple things to consider, like just the development process behind how these movies are being made. Think about how tight a leash Nintendo has to have on this movie because of the stigma from the first Mario movie. We're going to get a product that reflects that versus Sonic, where the very first Sonic movie seemed at the forefront like a cash grab Alvin and the Chipmunks style movie, and you could see, like, because of community outrage, you could see that vision shift into something that more enveloped what fans wanted. And then as a result, when we got Sonic movie 2, we didn't get an Alvin and the Chipmunks movie, we got a damned good video game movie or damned good movie about video game characters with about 15 minutes of it that felt like we were back in the world of that first movie. And everybody we've talked to death the wedding scene in that movie and how that 15 minutes can be cut out and nothing changes.
It's not even 15 minutes. It's literally 6 minutes.
Okay.
It felt like 15.
It felt like 15.
It felt like 20. It felt like 20. But like,
but
that's the thing I'll say is they better have a wedding scene in the Mario movie just slap bang in the middle of it, like with characters we've never heard of before. That would be amazing.
But like, because the Sonic movies had to go through, like, you can watch those movies go through that evolution from that first trailer to what we got in the second trailer to what we got with that movie to what the second movie was, and then we can literally shift our direction and look at the Mario movie and go, okay, this is being developed under a different set of circumstances. This is being developed by a studio that is known for being a little more loose and wacky with what they're doing and very, very sterile, very cut and dry. So Nintendo grabbing Illumination, because they're known for that. Like, when you think of the Illumination movie, you have this laundry list of the bingo card shit. You know what the Illumination movie looks like. That's going to be the place Nintendo grabs, because Nintendo's going to go, we need our product to be good. We need our product to be sterile. Not sterile in necessarily a bad way, but sterile in a don't make it smell like the first Mario movie way. Illumination's the people you want to do that, all things considered, because they're going to listen to that corporate checklist and go, yes, sir.
At the end of the day, I feel more connected with like the Sonic. I know a company's never your friend and stuff. And,
Yeah.
like, these are all like, you don't want to be parasocial about it. But like with Sonic, we've seen this thing go from this movie with this hideous design that didn't work at all, and how they, listened to fan feedback, they changed the design. We've, had regular updates from Jeff Fowler, who's kind of like a very up-and-coming director as well. Like, a lot of the people on this are quite up-and-coming, with, like, the exception of people like, I guess, Jim Carrey, who are kind of like the more experienced stars. But, like, Ben Schwartz is not as big of a name as, say, Chris Pratt is.
No.
Like, we're seeing we're not just seeing Sonic grow as a film character. We're seeing the growth of a lot of up-and-comers in Hollywood with these movies, and that's awesome to see. The Mario movie, on the other hand, is directed by the guys that created Teen Titans Go, and fucking Sam Procrastinates yesterday, when he was live streaming his reaction to the trailer, he got copyright struck by Nintendo live, and then reinstated, so that's like a part of his live stream now. And it's like, that's the difference here, is like, with Sonic, I just feel more connected with it from like a behind-the-scenes degree as well.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like honest work, Whereas the Super Mario movie has everything going for it. And it's just like, there's less to invest in for me here on a behind-the-scenes basis. Now, that stuff's not important to the general audience who are going to eat this up. It's going to be a popular movie. It's going to make $1 billion. 100% it will cross the $1 billion mark. But, sorry, go on, Wayne. I've spoken enough.
Sorry, this is jumping off topic a little bit. I did think it was a little funny that during the direct, they were like, here's this first look at the Super Mario Brothers animated movie. And I was just like, you really got to differentiate it, don't you?
There's a thing that I want to say, because I'm noticing a lot of conversation in the chat about like the fact that this is basically a kind of a Mario isekai movie, Mario in from another world. So that doesn't actually necessarily need to be the case with this movie. It can very much be Mario coming in from another area, but for any Wayne, have you played Mario RPG?
No, I need to, especially with like that shot of Bowser like getting the Power Star.
Yes.
I was thinking, wow, I really need to play Legend of the Seven Stars.
Okay,
so I wonder if it's taking some inspiration from that.
So that's what I was gonna say. I don't want to spoil the story for that game because it's a good RPG. But basically, within the world of Seven Stars, the Mushroom Kingdom is one location in the world, whereas like a lot of other Mario games seem to have like the world is the Mushroom Kingdom. But in Mario RPG, Mario's house is one location, the Mushroom Kingdom is another location, and the rest of the game takes place in the rest of the world surrounding the Mushroom Kingdom, it would make sense that with the advent of warp pipes being a thing, Mario could get in a warp pipe and end up somewhere that he didn't expect to be, and that just be the Mushroom Kingdom. That's a thing that happens all the time in Mario RPG as part of that story. You'll go into a warp pipe, pop in somewhere else, and be like, oh crap, what is this? Oh, I'm on Yoshi's Island. That's a weird place for me to be right now. I wasn't expecting that. Like, that's just in general what those pipes do within the context of that game. It would make sense if they do something like that with the movie, where it's not like Mario comes from our world and enters into the Mushroom Kingdom, and now we have Sword Art Online, Mario Edition. If you die in the Mushroom Kingdom, you die in real life. Instead, we actually have, there's this greater world that people travel through using warp pipes, and the logic behind where you go isn't always consistent, but that's consistent within Mario's universe. I know Odyssey did multiple kingdoms as well, but for Odyssey, you had to get on a spaceship to go to the different ones. Within Mario RPG, you literally you get in a warp pipe, you pop somewhere else, and you're like, oh, I didn't expect I was going to be on the other side of the planet today. That's awkward.
By the way, I also just want to quickly note, just to dodge any misconceptions here, I really do want the Mario movie to be good, by the way, and I do think it has a good chance. I think at the very least, what you're going to get is something very respectful of the source material. And I think that's a really good thing. I know. At the end of the day, when it comes down to it, I'm always going to root for Sonic more than I'm going to root for Mario. And I'm always going... Yeah, like, the thing is, unless this movie is really, really good as a movie, I'm probably just going to like the Sonic movies better because I like Sonic more than I like Mario. But, with that being said, like, there's plenty of Mario games that I like more than plenty of Sonic games, Like, at the end of the day, this guy has churned out quality products that are far higher quality than a lot of what Sonic has to offer, and maybe that may well be the case again, but I just think Sonic's a much better character, So, I don't know, unless it's really good, really good, I'm probably just going to prefer the Sonic movie, because it's just more for me,
Yeah, I think it's hard to deny that, like, simply as a character, Sonic is just more interesting.
It's a better design as well. I still do not know what to make of Mario from, like, a design standpoint. He's supposed to be cute.
I mean,
he's got a mustache. People with
Mario
mustaches aren't cute.
I mean, with the Mario design though, we know that Mario's design is, and I'm not saying this to be disparaging. I'm not. This is just like historical fact. Mario's design is lazy. Not in the sense that he's a lazily designed character, but literally, why does Mario have a hat? Miyamoto didn't want to figure out how to animate hair. Why does Mario have a mustache? That was easier to draw than a mouth. For like with the way the pixels lined up on the NES. Why does he have overalls? Because that made him stand out against the background better. Like literally.
The truth be told, though, it is a fantastic, like, it's iconic. It does what it needs to do. I guess my main thing with Mario is it's always been about the game mechanics. Everything in there has been built around the mechanics of a video game. So I think the challenge with Mario is taking that and making it into a compelling movie, into a compelling narrative. Yeah. And if they can just do that, then that's a really good thing. Like, that's a really good feat. That's worth celebrating. Because it is harder to do that with Mario than it is Sonic. You look at Mario, this character and everything in his world was all designed around being a video game. From the get-go, Sonic was pretty much intended to be a multimedia thing. Like, they got in there fast with the TV shows.
Sonic was built on the foundations of people love video games, people love this kind of video game, we are the competition, we are the other side of the coin. Like, that was his design ethos from the beginning, whereas Mario's design ethos was the foundation.
We're resourceful.
Yeah, we're using our resources as best we can to get as much as we can out of this system, out of this hardware, out of this character. Everything we can manage. Like, from Mario's entire history has been about, like, how best do we approach this thing, whereas Sonic's history has been a little more scattershot.
Like, Sonic is fast and loose and experimental and stuff. Hence why there's a much larger deficit of quality like between Sonic and Mario. Like why, there are so many Sonic games that just don't work compared to Mario.
Yeah.
However, like that's the thing is I'm more willing to kind of run with that argument if we're talking like Sonic games that just aren't very good, but simply because the idea didn't work very well, rather than like incompetence. Like a Sonic Lost World, for example. Like, it's a perfectly tight game. It's well put together. It's very competently made, very well crafted.
It's a decent Mario game,
It-
yeah.
It just didn't come together. Yeah, exactly. It's just it's a Mario game ultimately. But the thing like there is like with Mario, like it's always been about quality, quality, quality.
Why we have Mario. This is like basic gaming knowledge at this point. Like, why we even have Shy Guys and characters like that in Mario at all, right?
Mm-mm.
They were part of the framework for Doki Doki Panic, and that was the version of Mario 2 that we got here in the West. Because the original way they wanted the sequel to Mario to be was, it's going to be the harder, more difficult game because players have beat the first one, and they realized, oh, wait a minute, this is really difficult. American audiences might not actually latch onto this. Quick, let's reskin a different game.
Are we talking about the Lost Levels?
Yeah, Lost Levels is the original Mario 2.
Yeah, but it was actually Lost Levels was the original Mario 2 in Japan, but when it came over to America, because I think Lost Levels was too hard, they basically just adapted a Japanese-only game called Doki Doki Literature Club.
God
so
damn it!
That is then.
Yeah, so Doki Doki Panic was a lot of the things we consider like very iconic to characters for Mario. Why does Peach float? Why does Luigi have slippery mechanics? Why is Toad balanced? All of those things came from Mario 2, and that was literally, as is almost everything classic Mario, was a decision made based on resources at the time. Okay, we cannot make another Mario 2 for America because this one's too difficult. Let's just adapt this other thing real quick and then make that work. And then because that other thing just happened to have a lot of personality to it, those are things we've adapted for the characters for every game since.
So I think Mario's history is very interesting, like particularly in like comparison to Sonic, like with how like sequel games or reskins of other games and stuff like that. Like that's all very interesting stuff. Like whereas with Sonic, pretty much everything's just been devoted. Like
Yeah,
So far.
What's up?
That we know of so far. I mean, a lot of stuff is still always being uncovered. I
mean, yeah,
still
like 06
personally
was intended to be something else initially.
Yeah.
Like the whole Flames of Disaster thing was intended for like an RPG game.
like, and as messy as it ended up being in the long run, like I honestly think that the development history of Sonic Boom is fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, like how that was intended to be like it was meant to be like an entirely different universe, like an entirely different depiction, like, and it was going to be the origins of Sonic and Friends. But then they were just like, "Hey, we made this deal with Weedo Animation, and we want to make a Sonic Boom thing. Can you retroactively change this into a Boom game?" Like, it's got to be said,
Yeah.
it is a testament to Big Red Button that game is even remotely playable.
Given like every single thing that they just weren't told during development.
Like whatever you think of that game, whether you think it's good, whether you think it's bad, like the fact it came out as good as it is nothing short of a miracle. Like the fact that it was literally made with like CryEngine 4 and had to be fucking turned into a Wii U game. That's never been done before and never been done since, and that is a miracle that it even plays. Like
the only similar analog to something like that is like when Monster Hunter Rise came to the Switch and they wanted to use the RE engine for it, and Capcom was like, "Oh shit, the RE engine doesn't work on the Switch. What are we supposed to do?" They had to make a whole adaptation of that engine that specifically ran only on the Switch, and even then, other games that were built in that engine still do not run on the Switch. It's the same, like, Big Red Button wasn't given the time to do that because they didn't have that internal knowledge of like, oh wait, we have to adapt CryEngine 4 for the Wii U. Like they didn't get that same foreknowledge going in, so they had to just fly by the seat of their pants.
I love that. Like, in that we've seen, like, Big Red Button, Sonic Team, Blind Squirrel, etc., all get screwed over by Sega plenty of times in the past. And it's like, looking at the movies, it's like, this is what happens when a company more powerful than Sega puts Sonic stuff out there. A company that can actually say no to Sega.
I will say though, I know that the third Sonic movie is already in development. So there's not a whole lot to say how much of that movie will be able to be changed retroactively if they start like feeling some panic because the Mario movie does.
I don't
particularly
think they
well.
should.
I don't
like
think they're.
that's
I
one
don't
of
think
the
they're
worst
going
things you can
to.
do.
I don't think they're
Is like
going
just
to. I just
the only way they can do it is just to make the best movie they can. That's all there is to it.
I think it's going to be interesting seeing that for the last 10 years, the Mario versus Sonic conversation has basically been moot because they haven't been in competition anymore.
Now it's relevant again in movies.
Now it's relevant
Yeah.
again.
Because Sonic is the king of the video game movie right now.
Because the only people who bring up Sonic versus Mario anymore are like people who are talking about retrospectives or people who have been up their ass since they were like in the 80s and have refused to move from that era.
Yeah,
So it's interesting watching these two go head to head again in a different area. And of all areas, it's movies. Of all areas for them to fight.
It sure gives me a couple of more words I'm gonna have to mute on Twitter.
Bottom line, tribalism's silly.
Blue
Two great
arms.
movies can coexist. I'm looking forward to the Mario movie. But footnote, I'm Team Sonic all the way.
I'm more of a Sonic fan than a Mario fan, but I am excited for the Mario. Like, I'm not even just like curious about it. I'm actively excited about the Mario movie. I think it's such a fun idea. Now that I know, and now that I have some semblance of reason to believe that they're taking the project seriously and they're trying to do justice to this universe, which I was not expecting from this studio. I really want to see what they can do. It's kind of in the same sense that like I may not have initially trusted the studio that made the Emoji Movie to work on a Spider-Man film, and then they ended up creating my favorite. And it's like, hey, if Illumination wants to prove me wrong, by all means, please do. Like, that's something I'd be happy to be wrong about.
So,
yeah, at the end of the day, the animation team has always been solid. And I don't know if this is just like Nintendo have outsourced the animation to Illumination or not. We're going to see that all play out. If that's the case, I have more reason to believe that this project could be good.
I'm going to have a bunch of people that hate me for this opinion, and I'm actually very okay with that. I really like Illumination's Grinch movie. I actually legitimately enjoy that movie, and I like watching it at Christmas time.
I'm gonna push you off a bridge in Minecraft.
You're gonna push me off a bridge in Minecraft?
My main thing with Illumination is like I just wish they'd aim higher than a 6 out of 10.
Mhm.
A 6 out of 10 isn't bad though, It's just, but like, I mean, Despicable Me 1 was good. Like that was
6
a
out of
good-ass
10.
movie.
Too much water.
It was.
Shut the fuck up, Suris. Where's the comeback? Where is this? I can't deal with this. This silence is not working.
Oh man, is that our weapon? Is that how we fire back? We just like give him the silent treatment.
Stop this, because that means I have to talk, and I don't know what to say. Sploopity splooge. Melvin, brother of the Joker. Fine, I'll just sit in silence too. That's fine, we'll all just sit in silence.
We just wait it out for like 2 hours and see how long everyone sticks around.
Enjoy your podcast. Yeah, we're all just gonna sit in silent reading time.
Okay, but actually, was there anything else we wanted to talk about?
Yeah, can we do at least we can do super chats? Come on.
I wanted to see how long we can keep that going.
You're not cute. Stop it.
Never claimed I was. You, on the other. You're not gay.
I'm not. All right. Okay. Have we said all we want to say about the Mario movie? Shall we like do a summary just so no one misconstrues any of what we had to say? You want to summarize your points, Wayne? Summary.
I'm looking forward to the movie. I still think that there's a possibility. It may not be quite what I want, but I'm more optimistic than I was prior to the trailer actually coming out.
Suris.
Basically the same thing. I'm optimistic about the movie. I liked what I saw in the trailer. Chris Pratt bores the shit out of me. Jack Black's Bowser makes me think of a Paper Mario Bowser. Okay with this.
So, writing, I need to see more. Chris Pratt, I'm not sold on. Everything else, I'm pretty much sold on. Like, Jack Black as Bowser, I think is going to be the best part of the movie. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I hope it's good. I hope it's good. I'm probably not going to love it as much as I love that other video game characters movies, because I just prefer that video game character. We'll see. Truth be told, they don't need to be compared. At the same time, it is kind of exciting to see them competing again in some ways, you know? Like, it's a tricky one to avoid, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, all right. We happy to move on to Super Chats?
I'm fine.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, so we got Kaz with $5. I just watched... Fuck!
You okay?
What happened?
My throat became very dry.
Did Pup just die on
He
stream?
Yep. Gone.
I'm gonna go to the emergency room, guys. My pussy hurts. Okay, so Kaz is up.
You're not allowed to speak anymore.
All right, I'll be silent then in that case.
Excellent. Kaz with $5. I just watched
No,
Wayne's
I was gonna read it.
Oh
I just watched Wayne's
God,
Digimon
it
and
is-
Clo. Fuck! I just watched Wayne's videos of Digimon and Cloaca, and those videos are really good and insightful, and got me interested in those franchises.
Excellent.
That Digimon video is the most taxing thing I think I've ever worked on. I thought the Sonic 3 and Knuckles video was bad, but like, whew. But
yeah, I've never seen anyone like give birth to a video before, but like Wayne was like in labor for months.
It
was
was a
trial.
9-month long process.
But it's
Yeah.
okay because now I can finally fit.
God.
Bepis,
Thank you for
baby.
the kind words. I'm really proud of that one.
Giorno, thank you very much for the 500 Sonic R's. Already signed to the newsletter to get the soap shoes. Is simple, but it's a nice extra. And Wayne, you don't need to use them if you don't want to.
There you go. Did you know that, Wayne?
I mean, I never said I was upset that there was an option.
Laderick is up with $25. Seth Rogen is voicing the Dark Knight, right? I really hope they don't make weed jokes with him. Oh, please make weed jokes with him. That would be so fucking
Well,
funny.
Batman's very straight edge. You're not gonna get that much with.
Oh yeah, no, the Batman doesn't smoke weed. Joker, on the other hand, he
He
just
gets
gang weed.
all of it.
I love how we completely ruined that question.
Way past school kid. Thank you very much for the $1.99. Dang bong bluntry, Seth Rogen. Danky bong bluntry, Seth Rogen.
Oh, that's amazing. Did he actually say that?
I don't know.
Or is that something he's gonna say?
I don't know. Wayne,
Is that a premonition?
Wayne, save us from this, Wayne.
Did I just have a premonition?
Anyway, we gotta go. Go Kenji with 5 chafes. My guess, Chris Pratt is a plumber that got sucked in an SMB NES game.
Super
Super Mario Brothers
NES game.
Nintendo
Oh.
Entertainment System game.
Kind of like what they were gonna do with Sonic
Is this
in the movie that was gonna cross over with
a really shitty movie?
Oh, Sonic and the Wonders of the World?
Yeah, that
I
one.
actually like the idea of that.
I was also thinking of was there a similar idea for Pac-Man, or am I crazy?
I really wanted that
imagining-
Sonic movie to exist, but with the animation style of Rocky and Bullwinkle. You know, the Rocky and Bullwinkle movie?
Can we legitimately get a Mario movie now that's just Kaizo Trap, but it's, Mario Brothers?
I'm gonna sneeze.
Have fun with that one.
I'm not gonna sneeze. It's not gonna happen.
Damn it!
It's one of those. Okay, there's nothing more frustrating than that when you think you're gonna sneeze and then you don't sneeze. I hate that. Anyways, the good mic, the normal mic, the mic that we like, the mic that we don't fucking hate. So,
Oh, God
Mike
damn it.
1911 sends us $4.99. Chris's Mario reminds me of Peter Cullen's Mario from the 80s. Is that the all toasters toast Mario?
No.
What they say, oh, toasters, toast.
Is that the one?
No, that's because Hotel Mario wasn't from the 80s.
Wait,
on.
so which are we talking about the Super Mario Brothers Super Show?
Let me see here. He's the voice of Optimus Prime in the Transformers franchise.
Now I know what a
Peter
meatball
Cullen?
tastes like.
Peter Cullen, yeah.
Oh yeah, I know Peter Cullen's Optimus Prime.
Wait,
What
did
does
Peter
Mario
Cullen
sound
play
like?
Mario?
He voiced Mario in Saturday's Supercade cartoons. And
What?
And is the second portrayal of Mario overall.
We need to hear that.
Optimus Prime
Wait,
was
he
Mario?
portrayed, he portrayed Mario's overalls?
This is the Mario he portrayed. I just threw it in the back rooms.
Oh, let's have a look. I want to have a look at this. No, I thought you were going to send us his voice, not his. He looks weird. He looks really weird.
That's why I sent it.
What does he look
I'm
like?
just imagining that Mario going,
Why does
freedom
his
is the
hat-
right of all sentient
I
beings.
was about to say that the thing I'm most upset about is the hat. Like,
Yeah,
what's
why
going
does
on
his hat look like a fucking croissant? You know,
I think it's the way that it's like folding in the back, but it's also like I think it's the hair makes the hat look like that. Like there's something wrong with the hat. You know what I mean?
Wait, are we
Sorry,
talking about
I'm
about
hearing you.
Mario or are we talking about JoJo now?
Man, I don't give a shit about JoJo. Talking
I
about
want
Mario.
to hear his voice. I'm gonna look up his voice. Mario's first appearance in cartoons, huh? Okay.
I'm gonna make
Let's have a
everybody
look.
on Sunset City hear it too.
He looks like a mix between John Hamm and Bryan Cranston as well. Peter Cullen, that is. I'm just fasting it forward. Let's have a look. Oh, we just got a load of white stuff thrown at him by Donkey Kong. This is a great show.
Autobots,
Nice.
let's go.
Autobots.
Hold on.
He doesn't talk much.
Mushrooms.
See if I can
There's a
get-
lot of penis noises in this show.
I wonder if he said my favorite Optimus Prime quote, which was, "We will kill them all." I don't know about anybody else. I
Who's
actually
this?
kind of enjoyed the third Transformers movie.
I've only ever watched the first one, and I literally only watched that just 3 days ago. For the first time.
I get the third one, but skip to like an hour in.
Oh, is it like the first one where the hour has nothing to fucking do with Transformers?
No, it's actually a lot of good build-up. It's just also mixed in with a bunch of dumb like Michael Bay crap. But like the halfway through Dark of the Moon, it just turns into this is a movie about a war in the middle of Chicago against giant robots, and they're all just slaughtering each other, and it's stupid, but it's kind of awesome.
I'm
And
about
Right,
to
then that
while
was
you
play
the-
Maria's
guys-
voice. Hold on.
While you guys are talking about that,
Okay, I guess I'm not playing the voice.
yeah, don't do that because we could get copyright.
Not for like 2 seconds.
We've been copyrighted for 2 seconds in the past. Yeah, that Jeff Keighley stream that we did ages ago, it got copyrighted over 2 seconds of
Ah.
stuff. It's like, yes, I'm sure your 2 seconds of music is the sole reason why our stream makes money. Yes,
It
go
is.
ahead and take the lot. But okay, fuck you, copyright holder. But let's see. Giorno with 5. Other countries' dubs for the trailer are taking Charles Martinet's voice, while Chris seems to be doing another take more close to his own voice. Yeah, the French version sounds a lot more like Charles Martinet.
Huh.
French version actually sounds like Mario. But I'm probably going to watch the Italian version with subtitles, just because that's how I like to watch my animes.
Oh. I actually did watch like one Italian movie, like that, because they had an English dub over it, but I really do not like dubs over live action. I will just listen to it in the original language.
Yeah, I'm more of a native language kind of guy myself.
Yeah. You ever seen Life is Beautiful?
I have not.
That movie will make you sad, but it's phenomenal. It's a great film.
Sounds up my street.
I like being
Suris.
sad. Mr. SP,
Anyway.
thank you for the $10. Charles Martinet is playing classic Mario. Chris Pratt is modern Mario. That's my prediction. Mario's just like Sonic.
You know what? I'd sooner take it in Mario than in Sonic, because at least they haven't done it before. Or they haven't done it to the extent that Sonic has. They haven't done it to death with
Who
Mario.
played Mario in the original like live action Super Mario Brothers movie?
Bob Hoskins.
Is he still around? I'm not super
Oh,
familiar
that
with
would
Bob
be
Hoskins.
cool if they did like a crossover.
It'd be
I
kind of
actually-
funny to have him as like a background character.
I would really like to see the
Yeah,
original
he's-
Super Mario Bros.
He's
movie.
not still around.
Oh yeah, he died in
Oh.
2014.
Oh, shame. Okay, never mind.
I want to see that movie though, because like everything I've heard about it, it sounds like the kind of thing I'd enjoy.
It's like, it's bad.
They were drunk on set the entire time, and it shows.
Is it like
Yeah.
Batman and Robin bad, where it's actually good and everyone else calls it bad?
No.
I think that there is a case to be made where you could enjoy it ironically to a degree.
I think it's a movie that needs to be watched with friends, with snacks.
Every time someone tells me you can enjoy it ironically, I always end up enjoying it unironically.
Yeah.
It's a monkey.
There are a lot of different definitions of good that float around my head, okay? There's a lot of different categories.
I think so. Pup, you specifically would probably enjoy the Mario Brothers movie. You specifically, I think you would.
Okay, all right. Well, that where can I watch it? Is it on any streaming services?
I doubt it.
Let's see.
I'm pretty sure Nintendo has done everything that they like Star Wars Holiday specialed that thing.
It would be really smart to put it on some streaming services now, though. Like, with the announcement of like the new movie coming, like it always makes sense to put the old one out, you know?
Put it on 4K. Put it on 4K. Cowards, you won't.
Yeah, that's the thing. Fucking Nintendo, just grow a pair, man. If Sega could have Sonic 06 be such a big part of the Sonic Symphony, you can acknowledge this, you know? Like,
Apparently it was on Netflix at one point.
It actually did get a Blu-ray release. That's right. So I guess it wasn't nuked quite as hard as I thought it was, but I think back to that movie sometimes just because it's like it's hard not to get what they were going for in some areas. Like I get how they were trying to adapt certain elements from the game. I legitimately do. It's just a bad movie.
So the weird thing is that I remember liking it as a kid. I actually legitimately remember enjoying it as a child, but also remember as a kid, I couldn't tell the difference between various canons or anything. So I thought that the Archie comics and the games existed in the same universe for Sonic, and I thought the Dragon Ball Z movies were in the same universe as the Dragon Ball Z show. So, I was a very dumb kid.
Well, I think there was always an element, at least in your defense, where it's like I think Archie wanted to be kind of seen as in the same universe as the games, to a degree. I just remember like I think I remember reading like the crossover that they had. It was like a tie-in with the Shadow the Hedgehog game, and there was something about like I don't remember entirely what it was, but it was like the first time I picked up Archie in years. And I was looking at it, and I just see Shadow, like, talking about being the ultimate life form, and he's just, like, standing over some dumb badnik or something. And I remember thinking as a kid, I was just like, this is kind of dumb.
because I'm reading like I'm editing Nick's latest video. I've had to read a whole bunch of Sonic Genesis or the Archie Sonic Genesis story arc, and it's literally like Sonic 1 and 2, but with the Sad AM cast just shoved in there.
Yeah.
We
Right,
have
shall
one
we move
last
on
one.
to the final super chat?
I think this one is Wayne's.
I believe it is. Go Kenji with 5 chafes. I like the quote. I think it will reach... I think it will each be its own thing. It would be like a Despicable Me versus Avengers kind of thing.
I mean, yeah. Like, that's the bottom line. Like, they are effectively different genres, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are different
Right, well.
genres, but they're trying to do the okay. They're different genres, but they're trying to do the same thing. Take iconic video game mascot from 80s and 90s, turn it into a movie. Like they're trying to accomplish the same goal. Whether they walk different paths doing that is fine. They're still comparable in the sense that they are both trying to do the same thing.
I mean, at the end of the day, you can have fun comparing the different approaches that they take. Like, did this approach work for this character as well as this approach? Like, I've done comparisons between Batman Begins and The Batman, but the truth be told, they're apples to oranges, you know? Like,
But they're both trying to accomplish the same goal at that point. They're both trying to go, okay, we have a take on this comic book character. So I guess for uniquely for Batman though, he's a character that's been shown in like so many different lights.
yeah, I guess I guess a better comparison would be like, let's compare the Batman movies to the Spider-Man movies. Like, which
Yeah.
ones are the overall better things? Which ones did the better job at representing the character, etc. And I think in many ways, like, yeah, comparing like the Sonic movies to the Mario movies is like comparing Batman movies to Spider-Man movies. The truth be told, they both have their place. If I want to see a Spider-Man movie, I'll watch a Spider-Man movie. If I want to see a Batman movie, I'll watch a Batman movie. You know, it's not like, oh, I want to watch a Batman movie, so I'm going to watch a Spider-Man movie, so I get the better Batman experience out of the Spider-Man movie. You know, that's what a lot of these Sonic and Mario comparisons ultimately boil down to. Is which character would I rather see? Sonic, you know? But there's still a high chance that that Mario movie could still be really fucking good, you know? And maybe if I'm in the mood for a really good Mario movie, I can watch the fucking Mario movie, you know? That's the bottom line. So yeah. That's that on my end. Since we are done with the super chats for now. Unless anyone else has any money they want to throw at us. Do you want to start wrapping things up?
I think so. I think we're good.
Suris, you know what to do?
Mario podcast has been great. So, Pup, what are you doing these days?
That's it.
Yeah. All right. Nice.
That helps.
I don't necessarily know exactly what's going to come next. Because I'm kind of just oh dear, I'm kind of just
nothing has happened. What are you talking about?
Calling things as I see them. But like on Channel Pup, well, fucking, I've called it Pup Arcade now. On Pup Arcade, I'm probably going to be doing some retrospectives on my favorite Sonic games. So keep an eye on that. You know, we got videos coming for Sonic Unleashed, Sonic Generations, Sonic Adventure, Sonic Adventure 2. They'll be coming, and they're going to be a little more in depth than the usual. And then Where's Arnold is a yogurt mail with $4.99. And then yeah, just keep an eye out on the main Channel Pup channel for all the usual stuff.
About you, Wayne?
And if you, yeah. What about you,
Well,
Wayne?
I finally got that Digimon World video out there. It's starting to do fairly well too. Like it was crawling a little bit at first, but then it's really picked up, and it's people have been super nice on it. They're leaving a lot of nice comments and everything like that. Really, really appreciate that. I need to go in and just try to reply to as many as I can. It's been pouring in, dude. There's like over 200 comments on that video now.
Yeah, you're sitting at 17,000 views on the thing.
I know,
you, man,
it's amazing.
Sometimes these things can be a slow burn, but I think you know you keep doing what you're doing, man. Like, you know, because you're pulling it in, you're pulling it all in.
I am already working on my next couple of videos. I'm basically working on two simultaneously. I don't know which one's going to come out first. It depends on how things shake down. But it's kind of a one for you, one for me. I'm finally tackling a series people have been asking me to do for years. It's been a while since I've gotten back on the superhero game train, but it's about time. I'm not doing Metroid Month this year, but there is a Metroid-esque game I should have reviewed a while ago, so it's finally time to look at Batman Arkham Asylum.
Oh hell yeah, I can't wait for that.
The other one that I'm kind of working on is just because I want to, because I love it, is Shovel Knight. So finally, going to be talking about some Shovel Knight on the channel. That one, I'm not just doing Treasure Trove as one thing. I'm tackling each expansion and every subsequent release for that game as its own video. So Arkham Asylum, the Arkham series and Shovel Knight might be taking up the rest of this year's video lineup, but those are the two major projects I'm currently working on.
Now, Suris, before you jump on yours, we got 2 more super chats to read, and we'll put the cutoff here now.
Yeah.
So, OzJamH sends $2 saying, "I fell asleep, but here's your tax evasions, guys." Hell yeah! And do you want to read for Xander Johnson Carr?
Sure. Xander Johnson Carr, thank you for the $2. Banana weed.
Oh my god, he ate part of Nick's tombstone. The skeleton has gone too far. Lindeberger. The skeleton has gone too far this time. Suris, what are you up to, man?
Sadness. No, I'm mainly just trying to make sure that I've got enough relevant content out before I go to Portland. That before we go to the game show.
Yeah, that's another piece of information. I'm going to be meeting Suris next week in person.
Are you gonna fight him?
I'm gonna do Suris poo cam. I'm gonna make sure it happens.
Oh no.
But also, if we're lucky, Nick might actually be alive as well to meet you.
I hope you'll be alive. That would be.
Otherwise, I'm gonna have to pick you up from the airport. But that's fine because it's within walking distance. I'll just walk you home. It's like, yeah, it's a little 40-minute walk. We'll get you back.
It'll be fine.
You won't be tired or anything.
I'll just be sad. That's it. That's it. Leave.
Farewell.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.